Hello people of the internet, and welcome back to another entry in Heskov's intermittent tutorial series. Today, we'll be laying the foundation for a mod pack that I'm a big fan of personally, called Applied Energistics 2. So, what this mod pack allows you to do is store a lot more items necessarily than you might be able to unless you had just a massive array of chests, as well as the mod allows you to gain a lot more functionality in regards to your storage than you would normally have. This is a very big mod pack, and there's a whole lot of stuff contained within it. So it will take a few videos to get a handle on, but I really like the functionality that it brings to the Tekxit experience, and I feel like you would enjoy it as well. So we'll start with some of the more interesting items that you need to create to actually make the blocks. So we'll get started with that. Now we'll be going over the more strange items that Applied Energistics requires to make the components that you need to make a functioning system. And so we will start with an item called the Fluix Crystal, which you take a charged Certus quartz, a redstone, and a nether quartz. And here's the strange part. You chuck them in some water. And then if they sit in water long enough, it gives you Fluix crystals. So you need those to make what's called Fluix dust, which is just passing it through a pulverizer. And combining these two gets you something called a Fluix seed, which then you need to throw in water again and let it sit there, and eventually it'll turn into a pure Fluix crystal, which you will then use to create certain components that are used in the process of creating an ME system, which is what Applied Energistics systems are called. So I have pure Fluix crystals here, and so these little seeds will sit here for a decent amount of time, unless you have I believe it's a crystal growth accelerator. Yeah, a crystal growth accelerator, which if you apply power to that, which it will accept your dynamo energy that we set up the tree oil system for in a previous video. And if that's in the water, it'll make the seeds grow quicker. But that is how you go about creating the more strange items that are needed at like a base level for Applied Energistics. Next, we'll be going on to the Inscribers and how they're used to make the components needed to create the system as well. Inscribers are a block that processes materials, much like the other factory blocks that we've seen so far, like the pulverizer, for example. This is what the interface looks like. It has, and this one is set up for silicon processing, but what this is it's a silicon press, and then it has the potential for 3 items, but it doesn't necessarily need 3. So from the start of a basic, if I look up a silicon, if I look up printed silicon, I can take a press, which is the Inscriber silicon press, which is important, and then either silicon or raw silicon, and it will output printed silicon like that. And so this is a building block for greater components. As you can see here, you can get a logic processor, a calculation processor, and an engineering processor based on your engineering, calculation, or logic circuits, which all require their own press, which I will show you now where you can go get those presses. This is the site of a meteor impact. As you can see, it hit the ocean floor and actually on world generation sort of evaporated all the water involved. And if you find one of these meteors around, and I've found a few of them, there's one here, there are a few all over the place. There's one right there, it looks like, one right there. And then if you find a meteor and you dig to the center of it, you can see there's this skystone chest in here. And within these skystone chests, you will most likely find one of the presses. So you'll need to find a few meteors and go about and hunt them down to find all of the presses that you would need to build the system to get your inscriber running. This segment of the video is a little bit more dense, but what I have set up here is a basic storage setup utilizing the ME system and applied Energistics 2. So if you look, I have these black hole controllers, which are items that store a bunch of black hole units in them and have them accessible for storage as well as extraction. And they are hooked into this ME controller, which is the brain of your ME system. You need one of these to really make all of the more advanced stuff work. So we're just going to start with one. It is currently powered from a dynamo, and it is connected to everything using these ME glass cables. And there is a block in between these glass cables and these black hole controllers called a storage bus. So if you have a storage bus connected via glass cable to your controller, and then have another glass cable, and out from it, an ME crafting terminal, what you will see is all of the contents of your black hole controllers, but they're accessible. So I can just grab a stack of bread and put it into my inventory. And they're also, since this is a crafting terminal, I can craft things from it. I don't know if there's something I can immediately craft with these blocks, but I would be able to be like, oh yeah, here's a rosin, here's some cobblestone, here's some dirt, and if that makes a block, I can make it, and it will keep pulling items from your black hole controllers until one of the items that you're using is empty. And this allows you to access a massive amount of storage in one simple interface. So you don't have to keep clicking through all of your chests to see what you have. And as a quick preview, I have all of my storage system hooked up to this ME system at the moment. So if I take this cable and hook it up, we can see the functionality that is available once we get the storage set up, which will be the next video. And we can see there's all of the storage that I've had across all of the chests. And so if I want to quick build a crafting table, I can just grab it, and I don't need to have anything in my inventory. I can pop it out, and there we go. I have a crafting table, and I can go dump it into the inventory, clear out the items, and that's how it works. So that's a glimpse of the future and what we can do with this ME system that will start to make our lives significantly easier. And so with that, that concludes this entry in my intermittent tutorial series. If you liked what you saw, if it was interesting, if it was helpful, feel free to leave a comment down below. Feel free to subscribe. I appreciate all of the support you can give, and I hope I can keep helping improve your experience through Tekxit. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.